Okay, we're going to pick up Kaitlyn Shepherd. She's a policy analyst at the John Locke Foundation in Raleigh, North Carolina. She is a resident expert, a genius in education policy, researching things that are going to help make education better for the state of North Carolina and all the kids here and parents.
We're back with another season of Policy Pizza, the show where we take you behind the scenes with the people who make public policy work. Some of the biggest things that affect all our lives are the ideas that end up in front of decision makers in business and government. So how do we get these super smart people to spend a few minutes with us? That's easy. Pizza. Each week, we'll sit down with an expert and find out about some of the most important ideas that are helping to make our world a better place.
So I'm the education policy analyst with the John Locke Foundation Center for Effective Education. I research and write about a variety of topics that affect our K-12 education system, primarily school choice.
When you say school choice, what do you typically mean by that?
So school choice is generally the idea that families and parents should be able to choose the school that works best for their kids. There's a variety of programs that can be used to kind of help families who might not otherwise be able to afford a private school to be able to choose that option for their kids.
Right, that's amazing. It sounds like a good thing all around. So I bet it's something that you enjoy working on.
Yeah, it's fun to research and talk about how we can open these options for families because it's really a good way to empower families and students to be on the best path for success.
How did you decide that you wanted to get into public policy research as a career?
I was always interested in government and history growing up. Those are my favorite subjects in school. And so when I started thinking about what I might want to do for a career, I was kind of drawn to public policy because I saw it as a way that I could combine my interest in government and history with my skills in researching and writing. Because what I do on a day-to-day basis is I kind of read and research about problems in our education system and write about ways that we can make it better.
Really cool.
What really drew me to education policy in particular is the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of students.
That's really cool. So you can kind of feel proud of that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It makes you feel good, every day. You go home and you know you did something good that day.
Yeah. I mean, there's very little that's more important to families than education and to students. So the opportunity to make a difference in this really important part of people's lives is something that I'm really proud of and really exciting to go to work.
So just give us a little general background on education systems.
There's actually a surprising number of education options that you can choose for your kids. So most people are familiar with your local public school that's funded by the state, that you're assigned, as a student, you're assigned to that school based on your zip code. So you can choose to attend that school. In your community, there might be a private school. Your community might have a charter school, which is a type of public school that has a little bit more flexibility and autonomy in terms of their curriculum and some staffing decisions that they make. There's also homeschooling. If you want to just have school at home, you can do that. You can have a co-op. So there's definitely a lot of different options to choose when it comes to education.
Yeah. Tell me, where did you grow up?
I'm from the Midwest originally, from Minnesota. And I've been a couple of states for school. I've been in Missouri, Virginia, and then most recently I was in Idaho working on education policy over there in Boise.
Oh, cool. And now you're in North Carolina?
Yep, in Raleigh.
Wow, so you've actually been to quite a few different places.
Yeah, kind of all corners of the country at this point, so.
All right, well, Kaitlyn, thanks for joining us here at Ruckus Pizza in Apex.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'm excited. So we'll probably get maybe like a pepperoni pizza and a margarita pizza.
Sounds perfect.
Okay, awesome. So we're really excited to learn a little bit more about the kind of stuff that you do in your research, but especially we wanted to talk about school choice generally, because some people have a bad opinion of school choice. Some people are for school choice, and so we just wanted to get sort of just your understanding about what school choice even means.
So school choice generally is just the idea that as parents you should be able to choose the school that works best for your kid, whether that's a public school, a charter school, private school, homeschooling, online school. So there's a lot of different options that you can choose for your kid, but it's basically just the idea that you should be able to choose where you send your kid to school.
Okay.
So there's a couple different types of school choice programs. Vouchers and education savings accounts are the main ones that are being kind of implemented across the country. So,
and vouchers are something that would just help people pay for a private school, right?
That's right. So a voucher is a type of private school choice program that empowers families to choose a private school for their child using part of the education funding that's set aside by the state.
Right.
So basically just makes it easier for people to afford the cost of a private school.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, because that's one of the main things, right, that would stop somebody from being able to choose a school, right? If it's a private school and it costs money and the family doesn't have a lot of money, right?
That's right, yeah.
What do you think's like, so in addition to having some sort of funding for school choice, what are some other ways that, what are some of the other like barriers you think to people actually choosing their own school?
One barrier that could prevent people from choosing a different school is just knowing the kind of options that are out there. I think a lot of people, their child, they enroll their kid in their local public school and they're not aware of maybe private schools that are in the area or how to homeschool their kid. Maybe they think, well, I'm not up to the job, but there's a lot of resources and homeschool co-ops that have kind of proliferated that can help kind of make that easier. So parents aren't having to do the entire thing like by themselves. Yeah,
and I believe like that you guys have some resources like that at the johnlocke.org website, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And so people don't really think about it these days, but I noticed, especially after the pandemic, when people were sort of forced to kind of look, say when the public schools just closed down, a lot of people were forced to kind of learn a little bit about other options, right?
Right. I think the pandemic opened a lot of parents' eyes to not only what their child was learning in the classroom, but maybe what they're not learning, what wasn't working well. And so I think that gave parents an opportunity to kind of reevaluate what's best for their kid, whether they might want to try a different type of schooling other than what they've just always done.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's generally like a popular issue, a popular thing to be able to have school choice, right? In terms of polling and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. So it's not only just popular with the parents and the students that use the program, but Locke conducts polling on education choice issues, and we found that about more than 2/3 of people who responded to the survey say that they support the idea of school choice. So it's really popular among not just parents, but other residents.
Yeah, and I've noticed, over time, as people learn more about it, those numbers just keep going up.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, thank you so much, Kaitlyn, for coming out and having pizza and talking about public policy with us.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
If you want to learn more about school choice, just go to johnlocke.org and visit the Center for Effective Education. And don't forget to like and follow the John Locke Foundation on YouTube. See you next time on Policy Pizza.